Okay, abusua makwa abashonko so edeba POG Media so. Abusua yembonra eye yensemu. Eye Chief Suspended Chief Justice Torkornoo abusua na Ghana for born tutu ewa abonten a enye asem keto akra. Lawyer Zita Benson aba de honsem aba betuja o say na the esi kura no enye wan cause time a year sworn in a year John Dramani Mahama as president of Ghana no even a judges for a bar okra no yes also bomb to into suspended Chief Justice Torkornoo ne de no enye wan wa abusua Chief Justice Torkornoo atiesi abonten abehwe Ghana for mo boni who ena osno maame ne ade mom yenko na yenko nkoti ensema lawyer Zita Benson ede etuja unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma afofron so ensa into me enkabi
tuma tongo na meko
hey me boni say nyina o se jina minka wakande one but you see I don't blame Alista. I mean, this nonsense has gone on for very long. The nonsense of June 30th, where for a very long time NDC was tagged with the killing of the judges. And see, you meet some people like Omunim NDC for. They don't even know how good we are. But then they judge us based on this history that MPP perpetuates every year. And see, because of the killing of the judges, I don't want to have anything to do with it. It is about time that as a party we fought back and rebrand and fight that image and let people know the truth. And I'm glad that my brother Addo, brought the report out and read to people exactly what happened. Because if we continue to set back for people like Ifwagate,
yes,
and her ladyship Torkornoo to continually, and not only the two of them, the MPP in general, continually try to paint the NDC black because of something that happened in history, and irrespective of the fact that was under PNDC, the NDC is a new entity with new groups of people coming up, but they continually, for their own political expediency, try to put that on our heads for people to hate us, and we continue to watch them, and they are them. So her ladyship has given us the correct opportunity right now to come out and tell people exactly what happened and remove ourselves from it as a party, so that this nonsense where MPP thrives on the killing of the judges for numbers will stop. Like you rightly said, under what circumstances, I'm not going to justify it, but under what circumstances did that happen? I wasn't there, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But I think that as a party, it's been long, more than 30 years ago. We need to let people know that, and that is the reason why her ladyship came that route. The whole speech, the press conference she did, was not about herself. It was about trying to paint, the way I saw it, trying to paint the NDC as killers of judges.
Yeah.
And I have been sent there, and I'm afraid for my life. So she came engaging in propaganda.
Yes.
Propaganda against the party in power. And this is exactly what we have been complaining about, that when you were Chief Justice, you were unfair to us, you were unjust to us. Your body language spoke, your utterances spoke, your eyes, the way you turned them towards our president,
her memes
spoke.
Yeah.
So I thought that when she was coming, I didn't think she was coming to attack the NDC party by alluding to the fact that where she's been, her whatever, her thing is being held, trying to allude and make comparison to her uncle who died, who was killed. And you see, sometimes the English have a saying, let sleeping dogs lie. This your uncle has died and gone. His bones are even rotten. You go and mention his name. Now people have started digging this uncle of yours.
Yes.
And historian, what's the man's name? Historian Anoche Frimpong has come out to say that it was your uncle who betrayed Nkrumah.
One of her uncles, that's Alex Kwesinsaki.
Yes, your uncle betrayed Nkrumah.
Yeah.
So you see, sometimes let things stick to the issues.
Yeah.
Because once you go and talk, then people start digging you. Your family members who are dead will now be dug out, and their image will be dragged into the gutters. And I'm not sure whoever betrayed Nkrumah, for Nkrumah to go into exile, for Nkrumah to die like a pauper, the person who did it, I'm sure that up until now I didn't even know the man.
Yeah, Alex Kwesinsaki.
But now I know his name.
Yeah.
And I know he's related to her ladyship.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So what call her papa now? We know. And see, honestly, for me, that press conference, I think it was meant for sympathy. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So if I were her, I would read the room, read the emotions of the people, read the feedback from the press conference, and know that it is not just that you have done something, but the people don't want you.
Yeah.
And when you read the room and you know that, you realize that Mugabe, you are not welcome, you step aside so that you'll be able to maintain your dignity.
But at this stage, she can't resign. At this stage,
in the middle of where the committee.
No, but she said it. She said that she can't resign because she wants to see.
The Constitution says,
yes, she wants to see.
But can we say something like this? Can she withdraw from proceedings and say that I've surrendered, I've withdrawn from proceedings?
Well, that should be her own decision to take, But what I'm saying is that the whole press conference, those who advised her, it misfired.
Good advice.
She wanted sympathy. She didn't get sympathy. And I saw that Miracles Abuaji said that NDC has put a spell on Ghanaians, and people are not sympathetic towards the Chief Justice and all that, because in the time that she became Chief Justice, people were complaining about the judiciary.
Yes. That
when we bring our cases to court, unanimous 7 is what we get back.
Yeah.
We don't get justice. That is, you have to listen to the people, and if you don't listen to the people, in the end, whatever you sowed, you would come and reap.
The law is the law.
Do you understand? The law is the law. I'm quoting here. So, you when you were in charge of justice, people were not getting justice. You told us that the law is the law. Today, you are crying for injustice. Do you think anyone will listen to you?
Nobody.
And what kind of injustice are you crying for? The proceedings have not been completed, yet you are out there crying foul that there's injustice because of the building in which the proceedings are being held. So what? Because judges were killed there, we should break down the maybe in the 8 years or in the period that you were Chief Justice, since your uncle was killed, you could have recommended that building should be brought down. But as that building remains part of state buildings, it would be put to use.
Yeah.
Nanado
renovated it and
praised. Is it not in a castle?
Yes, close by.
What was a castle and state buildings around there not used as presidency when Atamils was in power?
Yes.
So what's different?
And what she's saying is that Eddo's lodge was used in planning for. She has no evidence. I'm saying that if you look at the SIB report, Captain Kojochi Kata met Amateko in front of Eddo's lodge. This Eddo's lodge you are talking about.
But that's even presumptions.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Those things that she came to say as a lawyer and as a judge, you don't presume like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that when they recommended that building for her sittings, I don't think that anyone knew her uncle had ever been sent there. So for you to come and cry that you are scared because that's where they planned your uncle's murder and all that, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense because I see it as mischievous.
Yeah.
You only brought that in. She only brought that part in about the murder of the judges and all that because she knows that happened under PNDC, and she wants people to hate PNDC. And that's why when I started, I said that it's about time that we extricate ourselves from that and let people know that the current NDC does not stand for that.
Yes.
The current NDC does not stand for unanimous 7. The current NDC stands for justice for all. Nobody is above the law.
Fantastic.
Nobody is above the law. So if anybody, as President Atta Mills will say, I don't care whose axe is God.
Yeah.
Justice will be served.
Yeah.
The wheels of justice, also the wheels of justice grind slowly, but it gets to its destination. So before the committee even completes its proceedings, you are out there crying injustice. Do you know how many lives were lost through injustices that people suffered in under the 8 years that MPP was in power, when MPP judges were in control and people were getting injustice and people were crying that there's injustice even before a ruling or judgment comes out?
Gabi will come
People
out
can tell that it's going to be 5-7, it's going to be 7-7, it's going to be 7-0. Like a betting. I'm sure we could have even done a sports betting with their judgments. You guys were so predictable.
That was
as to where the
judicial betting.
Predictable. The judges were so predictable as to which lane the judgment was going to go based on your political color.
Kanaba came out during that time.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, so, and if you recall, when the judges were coming to the Independence Square for the inauguration of His Excellency John Mahama's swearing in, they were hooted at.
Yes.
Ask yourself, why were they hooted at? Because people have lost trust in our judicial system. And if it must take one person to go for the trust to be regained, for Ghanaians, the 32 million or 35 million of us left, to know that now, when I go to court, I know that based on the merit of my case, I can get justice. You know, it has to be done. She has to allow, instead of these unnecessary press conferences where she's pointing fingers at people that we don't know and stuff that were done in the 80s and trying to allude that this is what the NDC is known for and all that, and so Yekumi and all that. No, you know, sit down and then the allegations against you, make sure that you have a watertight case, airtight case, and make sure that you come out clean. At the end of the day, she wants to clear her name. And if I don't begrudge her that. If she wants to clear her name, allegations have been made, clear her name. But right now, where she's going with all the politics and trying to point fingers and say, it won't help her case. And unfortunately, or fortunately, the sympathy to
Mugabe, the fact that the CJ's matter has come and she's a woman, and we are talking about it, does not mean me and you, the affirmative action, we have stopped though. We still support women. We support good women to go into good positions to go and work. Fantastic. If you're a bad woman and you get a job and the law catches up with you, I will come and sit here.
But at least I was Charlotte Osei, a hermaphrodite or a man. She was a woman.
That's what I'm saying.
And apparently in Charlotte Osei's case, the man who even sent the petition at the time had died.
Yeah, dead man.
And let me say a little about what Ifuagate said. Ifuagate is Jogate's wife.
Former MP.
Yes, she's a MPP MP for former MP. You know, she's married to. So you know, she comes and then she's saying, we have to act justly. We have to show love and mercy. We have to walk towards humility. These words are beautiful, Madame Ifuagate. But where were you in the 80s when people were shouting that act justly? There's a reason why the symbol for law is Lady Justice. There's a symbol why she's holding the scales. You know, there's a reason for it. So if the scales are not balanced and it's tilted towards MPP, people would be upset. And we are just 6 months into our government, and already you are crying act justly. In 8 years, your husband Jogate was part of MPP Nanado's government. Did you ever speak up against the injustice, against unanimous 7, against everything that was happening openly with no shame? And in the judiciary, you didn't. But today you can preach.
That's why I said the Ghana Bar Association, the bar operators, there's a
today watching this video even makes me more angry. But you see, Ghanaians, we have an attitude. Ghanaians have an attitude of hypocrisy. This Yankasa, when we came into power in less than 2 weeks, MPP and their people, they were shouting, Galamsey is still going on. Galamsey is still going on. And Abisu takes the Galamsey fight to the grounds, and then you have the same MPP people shouting, "Hey, why is she there? Why is she there? Why is she there? She's doing she's there to do the job that was given to her. She's there to make sure, say, the job that in 8 years you couldn't fight against, she is doing it. That's what she's doing there. That's what she's doing there. The mess you created, Hanabisu is correcting it. Oh, we need to put our hypocrisy aside and now allow people to work. Look, Mugabe, there's no way you, as a black man, you can go to China. Go to China and go and destroy their land.
Black flowers
or their environment. There's no way. Look, if you go to China, you have to leave. But do you blame the Chinese? Do they know where the gold is?
No.
And
they come with geodetic maps.
No, but if Chinese in Nibana we not Ghanaian our officer Akroma so and Lidina, will he have access to the land?
No, not at all.
So the point I'm making is that as Ghanaians, we are our own enemies. We allow foreigners to come and destroy our country. We allow the foreigners to come and destroy our lands, our environment, our water bodies. Whereas, wo Ghanaian, who could do China, they will not allow you anywhere. They won't allow you around there. Do you know how they value their culture, Chinese people? Yeah. They value their culture, their tradition, their state artifacts. They value it because everything in China has historical meanings. They value it and they keep those things for tourism purposes. They make money from it. You so yeah, mobile. Now you be yeah doors wide and more. You say gold there waha munko. Now you do mochi and they will be working for them. They give us peanuts. They give us peanuts. They destroy our water bodies. You see our munu see free munu river munu see free munu. Now ma say no ma be fire gold no mo de call. It's about time. You see, if the Galamsey fight will succeed, it depends on the people too.
Yeah.
Because I think when we started this they call it Blue Water Operation or something.
Yeah, Blue Water Initiative.
Blue Water Initiative. When we started it, the people in the vicinity, they were fighting the team.
Yeah.
Recently, just this week, the Minister for Lands, Amabua, he had to intervene between a clash between the illegal team and the legal team fighting Galamsey. He had to intervene. So if Galamsey would succeed, the fight against Galamsey will succeed. The people must have a change of mindset to understand, say, whatever water bodies is there, is for our own consumption and for our generation to come. Look at the cocoa farms that are being destroyed. Did you see the cocoa farms?
Yeah.
Cocoa production. Ghana is known for cocoa production, and it is our number one foreign exchange earner. Just before MPP left power, cocoa dropped as our number one foreign exchange earner. Why? Because the people were selling their cocoa farms to Galamsey people, so that they would use the land for gold mining.
Yeah.
So that it looks like the patriotism, the love for the country, and the love to protect what God gave us as a country. Greed has taken over. So me, I'm supporting the look. I spoke a lot about against the fight for the fight against Galamsey, and in government I would support any group of people who would go out there and fight against Galamsey. And so kudos to my sister Hanabisu for the work she's doing out there. And if you ask what she's doing there, then you and Kasano, you need help upstairs, because she's trying to reclaim our lands for our own purposes and uses, instead of allowing it to be used by just one group of greedy people who don't care whether when they finish the mining they will reclaim the land. They don't care about anybody but themselves. So kudos to the team, and kudos to the team at the Forestry Commission, kudos to the team at the Ministry of Lands, the Minister and his people, the Defense, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Interior, all of them. The joint interministerial committee that is working on the fight. This is proper fight against Galamsey, not the one that was set up under Nanado, where Charles Bisu and co were seen taking money and not doing any work. Yeah. That's one we can see them on the ground. Before I move on, we finish. I mean, I have like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, you take it.
Okay.
Because your media guys be more airboa discourse.
Okay.
One is Erastus Donko.
Oh yes, Erastus does a great job.
Or him Tewia.
Yeah. I see a lot of Erastus videos.
Somebody has sent
him Tewia prior.
Yeah.
Omoko sa yiwe be ma omo de ade bobo ni team. Man say the condition no header any good. Penny phone twa woman no manya dey. No more enhwe no. Mr. Brown Forestry Commission ye bona baso ye papa. Omo twa omani no more money nye dey enko so because are affecting me be.
It don't go and take bribe from one Chinese man and then allow him to come and destroy what belongs to all of us. We need to love our country more than that. Now coming to what's his name? Kofi Jumo and Juma and Buffer Stock Hanan Wahab and GTDC. I mean, when I hear you see, where MP before we are no more to how they stole millions.
Too much.
Millions, Mugabe, millions. And if Ghanaians are not angry enough now, honestly, I don't know. Yeah, you're too soft. Share.
Okay, I was going to and some so our political highway. So lawyers Ita Benson and I attend in Kase or day and Sembi to Efa suspended a Chief Justice Torkornoo. Ya better master some Japanese Coco Tisa and some way at my aha a POG Media so Madam Master.